Today we're going to be reviewing set 9447, Lasha's Bite Cycle, containing 250 pieces. The set retailed for $25 US. Now if you want to purchase this set today, new on average it's going to cost you $69 US, and if you want to purchase it used, on average it's going to cost you $29 US. Taking a look at our first minifigure, we have a front view of Cole ZX, here's a back view, then a back view without headgear, and finally a frontal view without the headgear showing that handsome face. Moving on to our second and final minifigure, we have a frontal view of Lasha from the Venomari tribe. Here is the back view for this minifigure, another back view without the headgear, and again a frontal view showing the rest of the printing on the head. Moving on from there, we have this side build right here, which is a blacksmithing area. Now as you can see, this side build comes with a place to heat up metal and an anvil where you can shape that metal. It also comes with these couple of weapons back here as well as a hammer there. But the biggest issue that I'm having with this side build is that it doesn't fit any of the characters within the set. Cole himself isn't a blacksmith, so seeing him with this side build doesn't really make sense to me. I would have preferred instead if the side build was a stand for the Venomari Fangblade here. So here is the Venomari Fangblade, which is the collectible, or one of the collectibles for this particular wave, and you can see that the green printed tile below shows that it is the Venomari tribe's Fangblade. Finally, we can take a look at the main build, which is Lasha's Bite Cycle. As always, we're going to start with the color scheme here, so nothing has really changed in the color scheme department. It still has this lime green, this dark forest green, the purple as the main accent with red as the secondary accent, and then there is the variations of gray with black for the mechanical portions of the build. From there, I wanted to take a look at the 10 stickers that this vehicle possesses. So we're going to start with the head. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6 stickers, all adding to the texture of the head here. From there, we move to this area right here where we have 2 stickers for the dashboard portion of the vehicle itself. And then from there, we can finally move to the last 2 stickers, which are located here and here, which are adding again to the texture of the vehicle in this section. Moving on from there, we can take a look at the actual build for this vehicle. Now, starting with the head is still something that I'm personally a big fan of. The only thing that I wish they would have added was a snake tongue here just to give it more character. Now from there, we can move to this area back here where it's a little bit thin in my opinion. I wish that the width here would have matched the width of the head here. So I think that's just too thin in my opinion. From there, we have the tail. The tail is also very thin in my opinion. I wish that they would have gone with a thicker beginning portion of the tail, and it would gradually get thinner as you go on. Another thing that I noticed was that in the show, instead of the tail having this left and right motion here that it has in the back, it would have more of a scorpion stinger in the show. So that's one of the differences that I kind of noticed while watching the show. From there, we're going to take a look at the features that this set has to offer. Now, we're going to start off with its ability to hold weapons. So it can carry 2 weapons in total. On this side, you can see it's carrying a sword. And on the other side, it's carrying a piece of dynamite, which I think is very nice for minifigures that have accessories with them. Now, we also have this cockpit here. So it's a 1-seater cockpit, but that's perfectly fine because it is a cycle. So it makes sense, right? Now, we can take our minifigure here and we can have them in there standing up and piloting this vehicle. So that's how he looks inside the vehicle. Very proportional in my opinion. And we can also have him riding off. From there, we can take a look at the final 2 features that this set has to offer. Now, these features are advertised on the back of the box, and we're going to start with feature number 1, being the flick fire missiles. So we got 1 missile here, we got 1 missile there, and of course, the way that they work is that you flick them, and they shoot out and go kaboom. So here we go, 1, and here we go, 2. So there are flick fire missiles, nothing too crazy about those. The final feature is the ability to move this tail, and again, I don't really like this feature very much, but it is what we got. So you can pose this tail in essentially any position you want that is on this x-axis, you know. So there is that. And you can give it a very snake-like movement doing this, but I imagine that not many people are going to play with this in this notion, so we can forget about that. But that is the final feature for this set. Now, do I think the set was worth the 25 US dollars back in 2012? Well, the answer is no, I don't. Now, there's a couple reasons for this, of course. First, the side build. The side build, in my opinion, does not make sense to have in this set at all. The reason being is that Cole is not a blacksmith, so he shouldn't have anything to do with any type of smithing, in my opinion. So that side build just doesn't make sense for me. Instead of that side build, I would have preferred a different side build that would work as a stand for the Fang Blade that is included in this set, or no side build at all. Now, there's also the play features on the bike. I think that the ability to hold weapons on the bike is a very nice feature. I think that one's okay. The features that I'm struggling with are the flick fire missiles and the tail. I just don't think they have enough of a playability factor in them to justify this set being 25 US dollars as a whole. The tail itself you can pose, but you can't really play with too much. Instead, I would have preferred if they added some type of mechanism where you can swing the tail, just to give it more of a playability factor. Now, we also have the flick fire missiles. Now, I'm not going to hash on them too much because I do think that they are a better playability feature than the actual tail. But I also think that the flick fire missiles are very unpredictable, as you can't really aim them too well. From there, we have the minifigures. Now, I have no issues with the minifigures we have here, but of course, I would have always liked to have seen at least one more minifigure on the serpentine side of things. That always adds more value, in my opinion, to some sets than other things, such as this side build. Now, as for the price, I would have preferred to have seen this set at a $18 range price point than the 25 we have here, because it just doesn't make sense to pay 25 US dollars for a side build that doesn't really make sense to the minifigure, and for functions that aren't really super playable functions, in my opinion. But again, that has been my review of set 9447, Lasha's Bite Cycle. If you are enjoying the content, consider liking the video. And if you are enjoying the content and are not subscribed, consider subscribing. It is completely free and helps me out in the long run. Now, as always, I will see you guys in the next video.